Welcome. My name is Kasia Kaminska. My friends call me Ka, and this is the Feeling Path Illuminated. There are so many positive changes that are on their way to you, but your own resistance to yourself is slowing it all down. But the truth of it is that you're actually in a really good place. And the only thing you're really facing right now, at least your biggest inner adversary, so to speak, is yourself. As you fight yourself to break old habits and establish new ones. Because you've been doing the work. And you've been fixing the things about yourself that you knew you wanted to. And it's not that you were ever broken or inappropriate. There was never anything wrong with you. But you had things happen to you. And because these things happened to you, your view of the world and how you felt in it changed. And that really wasn't your doing. Because much of the time, those things that happened to you happened at a time when you were little and you could do nothing about it. And the truth is that our whole world seems to be set up as one big trauma. And we're all just doing our best not to hurt the next generation or ourselves. So you see, you are coming into a new time and place where you are learning how to love yourself in a brand new way. Not in a buy yourself something or drink some wine way, or bury it deep inside where you never have to look at it way. But you're stepping into a time, and you can feel it. We all feel this shift, where you are having to face things about yourself and how you truly contribute to this world you say you create. Because you've been using the words, I create my reality. But as of yet, are just beginning to learn the outcome and results of that statement. Because you never minded taking the extra parking space when you could create it, or taking responsibility for the things that were awesome and were working great. But you never enjoyed looking at the things that were created from your pain and your anger and your sadness. Because there was a part inside you when you were little that was so deeply hurt and oftentimes could not make sense of the events that were happening around them. And so you weren't given a fair view of the world. You were unnecessarily frightened. And so much of the time now, you're afraid. And you hide that fear under anger. But the anger only hurts you and the people you love. And so now is the time for you to stand up straight and to say no to sadness. You can say, you know what, friend? We spent a lot of time together. And I appreciate everything you've taught me. but I really feel like it's time for us to explore different things. And I'm really excited, you see, because I've just touched on happiness the other day. It was new, and I really don't have much experience with it because so much of the time I spent time with you. But I'm starting to hear its call, and it has a kind of resonance that I like, and I'm willing to do the things I need to do to keep myself lining up with it, you see, because I realize that I really like how I feel, and I really want to keep feeling more of it. And I'm starting to understand that I don't really have to do anything to create that feeling outside of just tap and release. Because I've got this tool, you see, that's been working really great for me. Because every time something comes into view, all I have to do is just lift my fingers and place them against my own skin and say the words out loud, because I need to hear it too, you see. That eventually get me to a place where, well, I don't hear you as often. Because your note was solid and I heard you often. And, well, Sadness, you and I have spent a lot of time together. So please forgive me for wanting to reach for the higher notes. Even if they're just a little bit higher. Even if I could just dream and have a little bit of peace. So if you don't mind, for a while, I'm just going to explore feeling better. And that means that I'm going to have to be consistent with myself and no longer fight myself. And I really, really am sorry to the parts of myself that I've been beating up as I've been playing that lower note and forgetting what it feels to live high on the feeling that life is working for me and with me. High on the feeling of knowing that things do get better and better for me as I improve my mood. I like this idea that I can do a simple action and bring myself so much relief. And I kind of laugh at myself now because it's kind of silly that I had it all along. And much like Dorothy at the end of the story, all I ever really had to do was just tap. And release myself from the tension I've been feeling and give myself the opportunity to have a relationship with a new kind of energy, a new kind of me, a new kind of perspective. Because I know it takes a little time to establish a new skill, and you do too. And was it ever any good for you to beat yourself up just to force yourself to get to somewhere you thought you had to be? When all along, you just wanted to have a different relationship with happiness and calm and those other emotions you had spent so little time with. We're so sorry for all those things that happened. But as you know, we're all moving forward. And it would be grand if we could all just say that none of those experiences had to happen, nor should they. But the bottom line is we're here now, you see. And now it's up to you. Because you have a choice to play the high note or the low one. And it is in your choices. in your everyday, ordinary, round, regular choices. It's in understanding that there is no ordinary choice, that all are divine, because you are. And maybe that's a little higher thought than the one we had before. Maybe it's a little higher and we're not used to thinking it, that we're divine, just being ordinary. But what if this feeling was always on the other side of the sadness? And all we ever had to do was just spend a little more time in the happier notes, in that lighter perspective, so we could actually finally line up with that thought. So what are you most afraid of right now? Can I give you a guess? Can I feel into you and tell you what I see, feel? I feel, see that you're afraid that you can't be consistent, that you can't do this, that you'll fall out of this new habit and into your old patterns. So let's tap and release that fear and cut it right off, right here in this moment, so that its little roots cannot grow into your heart and mind and experience. Are you ready? Tap on the side of your hand and repeat after me. Even though I'm so afraid I won't follow through, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Even though I'm so afraid I'm going to fall back into my old habits, I can forgive myself for that. You're doing great. Even though I'm so afraid I'm going to become my old self and I'm going to be sad again, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. You're doing amazing. Now on your forehead, I now release myself from being afraid that I'll be my old self. On the top of your head, I now release myself from feeling afraid that I can't follow through on my own habits. Back of the head now. I now release myself. And I release my physical body from being afraid that I won't let go of my old habits. Over your ears now. I now release my inner child from feeling so afraid of trying something new. Underneath your eyes now, I now release myself and I release my physical body from all this fear around breaking my own habits. Now, underneath your nose, I now release myself and I release my subconscious mind from feeling afraid of breaking my own habits. On your chin now, I now release myself and I release my self across time from all the ways I sabotage my own success by living in my old habits. You're doing amazing. On the collarbones now, we're almost there. I now release myself. And I release this physical body from all the physical constraints and pain I created when I resist my own momentum on your heart now. It is safe for me to be me. It is safe for me to have new habits. It is safe for me to let go of old habits. I am a good person. I am love. I am worthy of these changes. I am open. I am ready. Now take a deep breath. You are truly magnificent. And when you find your own rhythm in all this, and you begin to shine and move in your world the way you've always intended to, without the burden of your past slowing you down, you will shine a loving light from you that will emanate and be seen by those who, like you, emanate and shine and feel more than the past they experienced, more than the things they went through, but bigger and better because of both. And you will look back one day and see the sweetness in the effort you have made today and tomorrow and the following day and the day after that, because you'll be far enough away from now to see the effect and the results of your efforts. But for now, you're going to have to trust that feeling better is better, and that ultimately it leads you to better results. So why fight and resist something so logical when all you ever need do, just like Dorothy, is tap and release yourself little by little from that old way of thinking where you didn't feel as beautiful as you do now. Because this feeling is worth holding on to. This feeling is worth it, do you see? So why give up on something so beautiful and hold on to something that only drags you down? So if this is your call, and if this is what you needed to hear to finally break through the inertia of not doing things on your own behalf, then I hope you hear it. We all hope you hear it. Because you're being called to something greater, and you can feel it in every cell. And perhaps it's time now to move with courage and deliberate intention and an open, compassionate heart towards that.